So, welcome to today's vision board session. And we did this last year. We did a vision board, and not to say that everything you put on your vision board is going to happen. It's just to give you a bit more guidance and for you to reflect on how the year was in the past year was, and what you would like this year coming to look like. And the quote on there, the future depends on what you do today. It doesn't help, we hope and wish for in 6 months' time, we have a better body, or we're healthier, or we have a better job, or we have a better relationship with our family or friends, but we don't do something today to already change that for the future. Right, so in today's session, we just quickly want to reflect on 2020. If you think of 2020, in one word, 2020 for me was, what was it for you? Shout it out, you can type it in the chat, or you can just have a think for yourself. My word was, it was unpredictable.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was unprepared.
Sorry, was that you, Zareen?
You're saying I was unprepared.
Unprepared.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, it's just to reflect on that. And then we are now going to, from now on, and it doesn't matter what the past holds, that is in the past. It doesn't have to have anything to do with your future. So today we're focusing on the future. So we're going to be looking at the first thing, we're just doing like a health checkup. And in that sense, we're going to have a look at where are you at the moment in relationship to your mind, your body, your spirit, and your heart. Then we're going to plan on what we can do to better. Let's say the health checkup wasn't the greatest. We're going to plan how we can make it better. And this is how we're going to put the vision board together, because by answering some of these questions, you'll know what you want to put on your vision board, what your goals are, what your things are you're going to want to focus on in the new year. So you want to grab a piece of paper. You'll see like it's on the screen over there. A A4 piece of paper, and you're just going to put 4 squares, and don't write mind, body, spirit, heart like big in the whole square, because you're going to be filling things in onto the square now. So just write it in the top corners on those 4 squares: your mind, your body, your spirit, and your heart. All right, so now what we're going to do is in each of those squares, you're going to have a number line or a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being I am not very good at all, or 10 being it's perfect at the moment. So if you think of your mind, how are you thinking of your finances? How's your career, your business, if you have a business, knowledge that's going into your mind? Are you educating yourself? Is your headspace a 10 out of 10 as in perfect, or is there something to work on? I don't think we're ever going to be a 10 out of 10, so don't feel bad what the number is. It's just we want to get on a scale how you where you are now, and then we're going to work forward based on that number that you've picked.
No.
Right, so underneath mind, just make that number line, or write, let's say you're a 7 out of 10, just write 7 out of 10. That's perfect. All right. The next one is your body. If you think of your physical body, your health, your home environment, your office, kind of where you as a person are moving around, exercising, and your self-image or your physical appearance, what would you rate yourself out of 10? What would you give yourself? Where do you think you are at the moment?
You have to be honest.
Yeah, you have to be honest. You don't have to answer it out loud, but be honest with yourself. Yes. Don't be too hard on yourself. I know a lot of people are very hard on themselves. So usually the world and other people see you maybe as a 7 and you're like, nah, I'm a 4 because
Yeah,
you're
that's
very hard
true.
on yourself. So yeah. But don't like say, like for example, if you someone who's completely obese and very ill, you say, oh, I'm a 10 out of 10. That doesn't help. Okay.
Yeah, that's not honest.
No. All right, then if you think of your spirit, so this is kind of like, I was trying to think how to explain it, but that part of you where you, what are you, oh, that's why I put a horse there, because they're usually spirited, okay? But if you think of your spiritual life, whether it's, I'm not saying what religion you might have to be or what you're believing, but thinking of your spiritual life, do you feel you're a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 2 out of 10? Do you take time to focus on your mental health? I mean, last year was very difficult on a lot of people, especially mentally. Do you spend time on reflecting on your personal growth? Your energy that you bring, are you positive? Are you negative? Are you always seeing things, the cup half empty, half full? And then what contribution do you bring to others? I spoke to someone recently again, and she's just a person who, when she comes into the room, everyone's happy, and she just brings this happiness into the room. So that's kind of where you want your spirit to be. It's not to say that you're always positive or you're always happy, but you can still, inside your mental health and your energy, you want to try have it as close to there as possible. And then the last one there with the contribution, it's just, yeah, what do you contribute to the people around you with the energy or the spirit that you are bringing into the room? And then the fourth square there is your heart. Now this is relationships. How are your relationships with your family members, with your friends? Self-care or self-love, how much time do you spend on making sure you're okay as well, and energizing yourself that you can give back more? Your hobbies, your passions, and romance, wherever that may be. How do you feel at the moment your life is in with your heart? So I'm not going to spend too much time on these 4 because this is just to gauge where you are. And then we're going to work on that to help you create your vision board. So everybody ready to go ahead?
Ready.
Okay, cool. So a question to ask yourself, you could think of it in this way, which is kind of reversing it. Instead of saying like, what am I excited about in 2021? Or where do I want to be? Or what do I want to do? You can say at the end of 2021, what could I regret? So what could you regret not doing or not changing? And if you've answered that question, then make sure that you add something to your vision board today that you can make sure you focus on it to not regret it at the end of the year. And another question, it could say at the end of 2021, what could I have accomplished? And we always overestimate what we can do in a short period of time and underestimate how much we can do in a long period of time if we're just being consistent over time. So like I said in the beginning, it's your future is determined on what you do today, and just take small little steps. Just change something small every day and you'll see a big result at the end. Okay, so let's get into making our vision boards then. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. Since I don't even want to name a year, but before technology was around, kind of your vision board was you drawing pictures maybe, or getting pictures out of a magazine. And that was kind of all you could do to get your vision board. But now with technology, with you being even on this call, you can use your cell phone or your computer and have a vision board made up very quickly. And I'll show you some examples. So a digital wallpaper, you can, there's an app on, I don't know if it's on Android, but I know it's on Apple, which is called Canva. And you select different pictures and you can create a collage, which you can have as a wallpaper on your computer or on your cell phone, which you'll see every day. That could be a vision board. You can see at the bottom, there's someone's desktop where they created a lot of pictures. You can just add all your dream pictures or your vision pictures. You can have a virtual vision board or a pin board. You can create it on Pinterest. If you create a new pin group, I'm not very good with Pinterest, but you can create like a little sub heading or something. I think Stacey would know very well, but you could name it My Vision for 2021, and then go and pin things that you want to pin on your vision board, and it will look something similar to those on there. So you'll see I'm going to be giving you 10 minutes on each segment to now already get started. And you can easily go onto Pinterest if you're someone who uses it anyway and start pinning things, and you could have a collage like that by the end of the session today. You could do art, drawings, or paintings. I'm not this creative, but there are people who are this creative. So if you want to do something like this, then at least today jot down what you want to have on your canvas or on your painting or drawing, and then you can spend some time, a longer period of time, to actually paint it out onto a canvas. You could do a collage, which I know a lot of us here in Cape Town are going to do today, where you use your magazines, print out some words or phrases or images off of the computer, and you just paste loads of things that you want to have happen in 2021 or what you want to focus on onto that collage. And you can then put that collage onto the wall, onto your fridge, wherever you're going to see it every day. The whole point of this is that you don't make a vision board and then put it in a drawer. You want to make the vision board and then see it daily. So out of all of these options, pick the one that you know you will see it often, so that you can keep focusing on it. Real pin boards, as in not digital ones, but actual ones that you've put up. You can get a pin-up board and pin loads of things on it. You can take a lot of pictures and put it on your fridge. There's a bucket list in your journal you could do as well. So you can just write a whole list of things you would like to do. And this is something we're very excited about and passionate about, and teach people how to write down a list of 100 things that they would like to do, see, become, explore. And you could put that down. That could be your vision board as well. At the bottom, you can see there's someone who in their journal, you can, if you like to doodle or write your goals in more picture format like that, that's something you could do as well in your journal. If you're someone who sees your journal every day or your diary, you could pre-write a year in review as well. So you could write little things like this of what you want to do in the year. And then there was another example, which I couldn't find the picture of anymore, but you could write 10 books I've read in 2021 and make 10 little squares, which are open at the moment. And as the year progresses, you can fill in those little lines as you complete reading a book. Or you can say in 2021, December 2021, I will weigh this much. And you know that, so by the end of 2021, you know what you want, and you're working backwards, that you can fill it in your diary or journal. And then some people are better with audios, and it means more to them to hear their voice speaking something over and over again rather than seeing pictures. So you could make an audio recording. On every phone has an audio voice recording app, and you can record either your goals and your vision of where you want to be in 2021, which you can then play over and over every day, every morning, wake up and just play it. Or you could make loads of little small ones saying my dream day or my year. This is some things I want to complete to do. Or you can do affirmations on your voice recording as well, that you just keep yourself focused on your vision and your goals and your dreams, where you're going to be going in the future. All right. So we're going to start now with your mind. All right. So on your piece of paper that you've written, your scoring out of 1 to 10 for your mind, describe your intellectual self at a 10. So if you can think of what the perfect intellectual self would be, what do you need to learn? Where do you want to work? How many people would you do you want to impact? What financial problems do you need to solve? How much money do you need to make? And what freedoms would you like to create? So I'm only giving you 2 minutes. I don't want you to write down too many things, but just think of those questions over there and answer them in your square. And after 2 minutes, I'll continue. Okay, so I've got a timer on
But answer them in the square.
Oh, on your piece of paper. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's your 2 minutes. I know sometimes it's scary to put it down on paper now, but it's worth your while doing it because it just focuses your attention and then helps you to move forward. So the next 2 minutes you're going to get is, what will I do in 2021 to make a step, even a micro step, a tiny, tiny, tiny little thing change toward my vision of a 10 of a healthy mind. So you can list 1 to 10 things. I would actually suggest to rather write down less than too much, because if you have too many things you want to try and change, then you just won't do anything. So even if you just write down one thing that you want to start making a change towards 2021, that'll be perfect. Okay, so your 2 minutes start now. Okay, so that's the first segment, is your mind. So I just want to make sure everyone understood me 100%, is when, so let's say that for your mind, out of 10, you gave yourself a 7 out of 10, right? You want to think of what is lacking. Why do I not have a 10 out of 10? And that's what you want to think of. What can I change or do differently this year to get it to a 10? And I'm not saying you're going to get to a 10 in 2021, but at least if you start making small little decisions and take action, it will change closer to your 10 by the end of the year. All right, so now this is where the rubber meets the road. So you're going to put it down on paper. I'm not sure what you've decided, if you want to do a Pinterest pin or a digital wallpaper, or if you have got some magazines and scissors, or you're going to doodle in your diary, whichever one you want. I'm going to give you 10 minutes and you're just going to put down on paper what you've written down now, pictures and words that are going to get you to your mind 10 out of 10 state. And I'll put on some music so that you have something to work on. All right. There we go. 10 minutes. Wow. That went very fast. I don't know how you guys are feeling, how you've done. If you haven't finished, it's fine. Don't worry about it, because you'll see as you do the next 3 segments, you might find some time spare to finish the first bit as well. And then right at the end, if you still haven't finished, you can just complete it. Okay, so the next part we're looking at is your vision of your body. So describe your physical self at a 10. Where would you live? What work would you do? What would you eat? How often would you exercise? How would you feel? What would you look like? What would you wear? And what part of your environment needs to change to be able to get your body to a perfect 10, which again, I don't know if anybody ever gets all 4 of these to a perfect 10 by the end of their life. Okay, so don't be hard on yourself. You just write down, yeah, try get yourself to a 10. But first answer those, and then we will give you another 2 minutes to write down that list that we did with the previous one as well. Okay, so the next question, you know already because we've done it in the first section. What will I do in 2021 to make a step, even a micro step toward my vision of a 10 of a healthy body? So list 1 to 10 things. Again, don't worry if it's just one. If you write down one, but you are the only one that takes action on that one, it's much better than the person who wrote down 10, but does nothing. Right, so your 2 minutes start now. Okay, and the last part of your vision for your body is to put it down on paper. So you'll have 10 minutes again to find pictures or words or anything that reminds you of these things you've just listed, of your vision of where you want your body to be. I'll put on some music again. Okay, I hope you are getting somewhere and the mind is just becoming more creative and finding things as we go along. So the next one is your spirit. So the vision of your spirit. Describe your spiritual self at a 10. How much time would you meditate, pray, worship, or spend time in silence? How would your mindset need to improve? Would you work with a mentor or a counselor? And who would you help or give back to? And where can you donate, or where would you donate? What, either time or money? Right, so 2 minutes. Okay, so now to write down what will I do in 2021 to make a step, just even a micro step toward my vision of a 10 of a healthy spirit. You have 2 minutes. Okay, I'm sure you wrote down something. So now you have time to put it down on paper again, or if you're doing it digitally. I had someone who just said that they're getting some pictures and things digitally. And what's an awesome idea is actually just saving a lot of images onto your phone. And if you go into your photos or your gallery and you have them all like in a square, you just take a screenshot and you have a wallpaper. So that's also a nice idea to make a digital vision board. So 10 minutes. Okay, our last section is your vision of your heart. So describe your emotional self at a 10. How would you grow your relationships? What hobbies would you do? What trips would you take? What passions would you pursue? Who would you spend time with? And how would you add value to other people's lives? We've got 2 minutes to answer. Okay, and the last time to answer the questions, what will I do in 2021 to make a step, even a micro step, towards my vision of a 10 of a healthy heart? Listing 1 or 10 things. Okay, so the last 10 minutes we have in the session, you got quite a lot done. That was like a full-on 40 minutes for you to start off your vision board. And I don't know, is there anybody who's finished or would like to share with us what you've done? You're welcome to show us if your video is on and we can all see. But just also maybe to think of, add this to your vision board somewhere. My word for 2021 is, what is your one word you'd like to focus on in 2021? And what we did in our previous session for 2020 is on the back of our vision board or somewhere where we knew where to go back to find it, we wrote down at least one thing on that vision board that we wanted to get done in 2020. And it's kind of like a little contract with yourself that I will, by the end of 2020, do this and this and this. And then we signed it with the dates. And it's nice just to, at the end of the year, go back and see if you've actually done what you said you were going to do.